Welcome to my 2026 NFL playoff prediction. Let's get right into it. This season has been insane. We're about to have a 55-year-old NFL MVP, and his name is Matthew Stafford. The runner-up, 16-year-old Drake May, pumped full of baked goods. We got his wife doing pizza reviews because the Patriots are so damn good. The Ravens miss a kick, fire the kicker, fire the coach. They're looking at a rebuild here. The poor Kansas City Chiefs, 10 years of amazing experiences, and they're finally out of the playoffs. We hope Patrick Mahomes has a speedy recovery, and we expect to see them back in the playoffs next year. The Denver Broncos, not only the best in the division, the best in the AFC. The Seattle Seahawks, top of the NFC. The Bears and the Packers, somehow only playing for the third time in the playoffs ever. Aren't these the two oldest teams? This playoffs has the precedence of being an amazing year. I'm not biased at all. We are not leaning one direction whatsoever. There is no favorite. This is completely unbiased. This is an unbiased prediction. Let's get right into it. Let's look at some odds. All right, so we have the Rams at Carolina first. The Rams are huge favorites, 10.5 favorites. Vegas is saying Carolina is dog water. And I kind of agree with them. I still don't trust Bryce Young. Their defense looks pretty good. I love J.C. Horn. I like Rico Dowdle. I like Chuba Hubbard. Shout out Canada. I just think the Rams are too tough. Their defense is too good. Matthew Stafford's the MVP. Both of their running backs look elite. Puka Nacua, the best receiver in the league. Devontae Adams, a top 5 receiver in the league. Matthew Stafford throws touchdowns. Devontae Adams catches them. Puka Nacua does everything else in between. I'm expecting a rather large Rams blowout here. I'm going to guess this score is around 38-14. I'm sorry, Carolina fans. I'm not seeing a great game. So I'm having LA advance there. We next get to the Packers versus the Chicago Bears. This is only a 1.5 spread. So it's a pick-me game pretty much. Now, Green Bay kind of smacked around Chicago when they were more at full strength. Without Jordan Love, Chicago gets an OT victory. In my opinion, I think the spread should be a little bit more in favor of Green Bay. But I don't care. We're picking against it. Chicago has won so many weird, lucky games this year. And where do weird, lucky games matter the most? That's in the NFL playoffs. I'm predicting, I think Caleb Williams is going to paint some W's all over the Green Bay Packers. So I'm going with Chicago on that one. Next, we get to probably the game of the wild card round. The Buffalo Bills at the Jacksonville Jaguars. The Jaguars looked unbeatable down the stretch. They kind of had an interesting, slightly rocky start, and then the last 8 games of the season, they have seemed unbeatable. The Buffalo Bills have a sneaky 12-5 record, mainly backed by the fact that Josh Allen is such a great quarterback and James Cook is such a great running back and not much else. This one is another pick-me. It's a 1-point spread. This game is going to be insane. They're putting the over-under at 51.5. I think that's way too freaking low. I'm going heavy on the over there. I'm seeing this game. This game is either going to be Jacksonville winning 40-38 or something, and then the other direction, I'm seeing Buffalo win 48-21 or something. I think either team can get it done. Jacksonville's been hotter. but I'm just going to trust in Josh Allen, his experience in the playoffs, and kind of the lack of playoff experience. And I'm sad to say, but I'm a little nervous about Trevor Lawrence in the playoffs. I think this will be a big test for him. If he gets past this, this is going to be huge for him. So I'm picking the Bills there in a big game. Then we get to the 49ers and the Eagles. It's a 6-point spread in favor of the Eagles. They've been the most boring team this year to watch. It's not because they're bad. They play consistently all right. They've lost some weird games. They've won some good ones. The 49ers, I don't even know how they're in the playoffs. I'm pretty sure that half the team is still injured, and they've managed a 12-5 record. This is a team, as they've continued to get healthier throughout the year, I do not want to see. I believe my Seahawks can take them down, but I'm not too sure about the Eagles. But I'm not going to bet against the Super Bowl champions of last year. So I'm going to pick the Eagles. I'm going to pick in a tight game. I'm going to pick a 21-13. I do like this spread. I'm going to pick a 21-13 Eagles victory. Next, we get the Chargers at New England Patriots. This is an old kind of classic game. Really reminds you of Phillip Rivers and Tom Brady. Now we got Drake May and we got Justin Herbert. New England's favored by a bit, 3.5. That's sizable for sure. New England just seems unproven, though. They had the easiest schedule this year. The Chargers looked electric at times and then had a bunch of injuries creep up. Some of those injuries have now gotten healed. I kind of like them in this game. I like them as an underdog. I'm not a huge New England hater. I want to be a little careful with easiest schedule in the league, hits the playoffs, first playoff experience ever, faces a solid Chargers team with a Harborough brother. So I'm going to pick the Chargers there. This game, though, I think it's going to be rather competitive. I'm going to pick a 30-27 for the Chargers in this game. Next, we get the Houston Texans at the Pittsburgh Steelers. This game, I don't know which way to go on this one. We have Houston, who is a 3-point favorite. Their defense has looked really good. They really came on at the end of the year to get into the playoffs. Pittsburgh has been so interesting. It was almost like they really just wanted to be 9-8 / throw their season away. But Aaron Rodgers and the ayahuasca would not let that happen. And I don't think they're going to let the playoffs slip from them either. I'm picking the Pittsburgh Steelers to win this game 16-10. Crazy score. It's going to be a crazy defensive game. Even though we saw the Pittsburgh defense have their highs, have their lows, I think they come on strong for the playoffs. Cameron Hayward is going to play cornerback. He's going to play safety. He's going to play middle linebacker. We're going to have him in his running back. He's going to be a tight end. And then the Texans are just going to play a great game. It's going to be a hard defensive battle. And I think that the Pittsburgh Steelers are going to come out on top on that one. So really that knocks us to what happens after that. We get, let's see here. So then we'd get Pittsburgh versus Denver, New England versus, Chargers versus Buffalo. Guys, I'm not picking all underdogs, I swear. Then we'd have Seattle versus LA, Philly versus Chicago. So let's start back over here. Denver versus Pittsburgh. Denver is so fraudulent, I feel. Their defense is amazing, but I really just don't trust their offense. But I don't see this being a Pittsburgh team that can make it past a divisional round. So for that, I got to go with Denver. I think it's going to be a close defensive battle. I'll give you a score closer to. Buffalo versus LA. I kind of would rather see Buffalo versus New England. I think either way, whether it's going to be New England or LA, I think Buffalo's going to beat either team. I think they're going to beat either team by 7 points. And then Denver versus Buffalo. I think this is the year for Josh Allen. I know his team doesn't quite line up on it, but this just has to be his year. He's going to have a kid. He just got married. Lots of exciting things are happening. Let's give him a Super Bowl. Now we get on the NFC side. Chicago versus Philly is an interesting game. And I think that Chicago's going to win it. I think Chicago's going to squeak past the Eagles with some crazy luck. Now the Seattle Seahawks versus the Rams. No bias whatsoever. The Seattle Seahawks have the best defense in the league. Unequivocally the best defense in the league. So for them, just run the ball. Sam Darnold, stay safe with the passes. And I honestly believe defense wins championships. And we're going to take out the Rams in a classic, amazing divisional game. Then we're going to have Seattle versus Chicago. I honestly think on this side of the bracket is really where the winner's coming from. So, in my opinion, if San Francisco, Philly, Chicago, Green Bay, it don't matter. Anyone is going to lose to the Rams or the Seahawks. And so, then in the Super Bowl, I'm looking at a Seattle-Buffalo Super Bowl. I could see a Seattle-Denver, but I'm just liking Josh Allen to try to take it home this year. And it's going to be tough. I don't know. Me personally, I would love to see the Seahawks win, but I think some things are working out for Josh Allen that he's going to be able to take it. And I think it would be a close game. I think we're looking at a 24-20, giving me flashbacks. Please don't let it be New England. But I think Josh Allen might be able to beat my Seahawks. Let me know what you think about these predictions. Let me know what you think about my playoff breakdown. Who'd you have? Am I dead wrong? This is just what I feel. I'm a Seahawks fan. I tried to be as unbiased as possible. Of course, I want us to take it home. But I just get a little bit of scared. I get a little bit of scaredom in that Super Bowl, especially if we're going off against someone like Josh Allen. Anyways, that's my NFL playoff prediction video. See you next time.